Our first story is titled, Am I the A-hole for flashing my wedding ring at a coworker who was flirting with me? I usually work during the day, and all the people I work with know that I am a married man. I just got married in May, so they made a deal over it and sent me cards and things. Well, the past few weeks, I've had to work night shift, and there were two women who I've not met before. Well, I work in maintenance in a hotel, and these women work the front desk. Several times, they called me to come to the desk for a complaint, and as soon as I get there and ask what it is, then they say the call was cancelled. This went on like 5 times. By the 5th time, I was annoyed, as I kept running back down there for nothing. Well, this one girl walked away, and the other one said, she just likes seeing you, she likes your dimples. So I stood there for a minute, talking. When the girl walked back up, I put my hand on the desk, clearly showing my wedding ring, and told them that if there was a complaint, I would be at the shop. Somehow this offended the girl, and she started acting odd. Made a complaint that I was harassing her when she was the one who kept calling me down there. I never dreamed putting my hand on the desk would result in me being questioned about being inappropriate and them wanting me to take a class. If my wife hears about this, she is going to assume that I'm acting inappropriately at work, and that's not the case. We have a foundation built on trust, and I don't want anyone to try and tell her that I'm being inappropriate with women when I work evenings. Am I the a-hole here? Now let's read the top comments for this post. Not the a-hole. Lodge a counter complaint. Tell your wife up front what's going on, so she'll have no legit reason to believe you aren't doing anything wrong. It's because of idiots like this that legit incidents isn't taken more seriously. I hope there's a log of the calls to prove they're the ones pestering you. Not the a-hole. So true. Idiots like this who are messing up the system. Then people say that the system doesn't work. No, it does, but only to good people, not the bad ones. Info. If my wife hears about this, she is going to assume that I'm acting inappropriately at work. Why on earth would she assume that? If you have, as you say, a foundation built on trust, then why would she take these random women's word over yours? Tell her what's going on, immediately. Get ahead of this. Oh, forgot to mention my wife works during the day. She usually hears about the other men that work there that are flirting with the front desk women. She is friends with the day shifters, and one of the men in my department is married and is sleeping with one of the females at the desk who is also married. I just don't want my name brought into all that. I'd tell her before she can hear it from other people. Tell her tonight what's going on. Did you inform HR? Let HR know. I'm definitely going to when I go in for my meeting. The dang superintendent from my job was who called me and told me that there was an issue. She told them that I kept coming down there and trying to get her to go into a room with me so she could pleasure me. I never said anything like that. She's conjured up this whole story, like I'm some gross guy. Apparently, she asked around about me after I showed her my ring and found out my wife is 14 years younger than I am and told HR that I was into young women and just wanted another trophy or notch in my belt to stroke my ego. I'm at loss why she is so angry with me. All I did was put my hand on the desk to show my ring. Now for the second story. Am I the a-hole for not buying a replacement for the engagement ring my fiancé lost? I, 33 male, been with my fiancé, 26 female, for over 2 years. We recently got engaged. I saved up for the engagement ring that costs $8,000. I have given up a lot of things that needed buying, / car needed repair, / I even stopped spending money eating out and limited my time with my friends, skipped trips and weekends getaways, and still got rent to pay on top of it all. Last week, my fiancé called me and she was freaking out. She told me that she lost her engagement ring while she was out shopping with her sisters. I tried to get her to calm down and she wanted me to come over to her mom's as fast as I can to discuss what happened. I arrived at her mom's place. Her mom was sitting while my fiancé explained how she lost her ring and how pissed off she was, but never said nor implied that it was her fault and tried to put the blame elsewhere. I told her no problem, that I will get her a new one soon once I've saved up for it. She gave me a look. She didn't seem to take me seriously. Started complaining about how she will not be waiting for me to save up because that would take long. And also, she won't be able to walk around without her ring now that she let everyone know that she got engaged. I told her I had no other choice. But I was stunned when she mentioned the money I've been saving up for the private surgery that I will be undergoing in 2 months, since public hospitals are being crowded and my condition couldn't wait any longer. I'm experiencing increased pain and having a difficulty doing daily activities due to a heart condition. I declined, and she kept insisting, and even said that I should get money from my parents, who already paid enough for my treatment. I said no. Told her she needed to wait, but she started saying that clearly our relationship didn't mean anything to me, and that I think that her feelings didn't matter. Talked about how having a ring was the least she could ask for. Her mom didn't say anything, just tried to come with ways for me to consider this. I fought with my fiance and called her unreasonable for asking me to literally choose between my operation and her. When I left, I got a text telling me how big of a deal this was for her, and that it was not okay for me to disregard her feelings like this, and that there will not be a wedding long as I continue to ignore her basic requests and needs. We haven't talked ever since. My mom got into a huge argument with her, and that complicated things even more. Now for the top judgment and comments. Not the a-hole. I'd cut my losses and consider it a blessing that she's shown her true colors. She sounds vapid and undeserving. Take care of your health and find someone who wants you to do the same. It's like she completely forgot about my condition and how much pain I've been enduring. Besides paying for doctor's appointments, / paying for rent, / paying for her stuff, I'm no longer able to work properly due to being exhausted and out of breath all the time. I feel like there's so much I need to do with little time and effort. She refuses to give me a break, even though she's seen how much I'm struggling to get her what she asked for. I'm tired of being yelled at for not doing enough, or that I somehow don't value her and out her first. But this time, she was being completely unreasonable, and it was just a little more than I could handle. By the sounds of it, it wasn't just this time that she was being unreasonable. This woman isn't treating you properly. Sounds like she cares more about the ring than about you, OP. Honestly, it's like she'd be fine with being a young widow as long as she had a ring on her finger, since she gives no ass about your pain or health. Take this blessing and get the F out before she drives you into an early grave. Not the a-hole. This made me think she was being unreasonable for wanting me to spend the money I've been saving for my surgery on a new ring. She knows exactly how much difficult it is for me to even continue working and save money, and I'm starting to get tired and unable to function like I used to. My parents have done enough, and she can't push me to go to them and ask for money. This will not be happening. I said that I was going to start saving up for a new ring, but she said she wanted to use the money I have to buy her a ring instead of the one she lost, and postpone my surgery so she could show off to her friends and family. Not the a-hole. And run. Run fast. Run far. Run. This time, I'm sure if you sat down quietly and thought about it, you'd come up with a dozen other times where she's put herself first at your expense. She cares more about appearances than your health. Do you honestly believe that's going to change? Enough said. You're not her fiancé. You're a walking, talking ATM who dispenses cash when she wants it. As for the ring, I'm betting she sold a ring for cash and wants another one. No one who loves you would demand another ring. Her story is fishy. She and her mother sounds like grifters. Not the a-hole. Your divorce currently is costing you £8,000. I'd take that deal and run. Think of all the money he's saving on the wedding. He's coming out way ahead of a divorce. Now for the last story, am I the a-hole for not agreeing to let my husband have a baby with another woman? I, 32 female, am married to great man James, 36, fake name, who was a sperm donor to his friend Miranda, 35 female, and her wife Vivian, 30 female, and they have a sweet little boy, and he is a very involved uncle. This all started before I was in the picture, and when I first started dating James, it felt a little weird at times but grew to accept it because not all families are the same. Also, Miranda and Vivian are great. James and I have been married for a while and trying for a baby. Because of the pandemic, we decided to not actively try again until next year, but are still not using protection. Recently, Miranda approached James about being a donor again. He said that he needed to think about it and consulted me. And to be honest, I told him I was uncomfortable with the idea. Like I said, Miranda and Vivian's son was already in the picture before I came around, so I know I needed to accept it or leave. But now that I am his wife and trying to conceive myself, I just don't think I can ever handle seeing another woman carry his baby. James understood my stance and suggested Miranda and Vivian find another donor or adopt. They refused, saying that they wanted their son to have a sibling that was related to him, and this time, Vivian wanted to experience giving birth. James still refused, saying that he couldn't do it again. He tried to take all the blame, but I guess they were able to put two and two together and started asking me why I was so against them having a bigger family. I explained my reasons, and they said that I was being unreasonable and how my lack of pregnancy wasn't their fault. Since then, Miranda and Vivian have restricted access to their son, and I know that it's starting to take a toll on James and his family because their son is, technically, the only grandchild. I know that my reasons are purely selfish, but am I really in the wrong here? Edit. Update for more info. Based on the recurring comments and questions, I wanted to clarify some things. Number 1, I didn't say my husband couldn't donate sperm, not that I have any control over that. I just told him that I wouldn't be conformable with it. Number 2, James signed away his rights so he can't sue for visitation or custody, and Miranda and Vivian can't sue for child support. Number 3, James and the child have a uncle-nephew relationship, and even though it's never said that there is a blood relation, the child shares enough physical features that make it obvious. Strangers have even pointed this out. Number 4, while James' parents know that they can never publicly claim the child as their grandchild, I know that a part of them still see him as their grandchild and hope that one day they can. Number 5, when James first donated, he was single and stated that he would be open to donating again in the future, but as far as I'm aware, there was never an explicit agreement. Now let's read what the top comments has to say to this. Not the a-hole. Something like this needs to have the approval of both partners in a marriage. Your husband's friends don't get to demand you be okay with this, no matter their reason. They're the a-holes for basically using their son as a bargaining chip in all this, and it's frankly disgusting. Can we all just appreciate how refreshing Opie's husband is? He asked his wife, took her answer, and didn't blame her when his friends asked. I read about so many crappy husbands on this sub. This was very refreshing. Not just that, he was willing to take the flak for not accepting to do it. That's what got me right there. Not only did he talk it out with Opie and come to a conclusion together that they were both okay with, but he even attempted to take all the heat from the other couple. Edit. I also want to add a shout out to Opie for being patient with her husband and his situation with this other couple. That sounds like an absolute crazy thing to walk into a relationship and find, and Opie, after having some apprehension, was able to learn to roll with it. Good on you, Opie. That kind of acceptance can't be found in everyone, and I personally admire that. Not the a-hole. Vivian and Miranda are being incredibly unreasonable by 1. Not respecting your feelings on the situation when you are literally his wife. 2. Insisting that James has to be the donor when adoption or another donor are perfectly viable options. If having the kids be genetically half-related is so important to them, they should have brought it up with James before the first kid, or just have Miranda carry again. I'm assuming James did this as a courtesy for a friend, and now they feel as if they have some sort of entitlement to his sperm. And 3, worst of all, using their freaking son as a chess piece against James and his family, who have an established bond with him, in order to manipulate him into donating again. They are willing to isolate their child from their biological family as a manipulative tactic, but are hell-bent on having their kids be related. I'm really not seeing their logic here, and they've proved themselves to be people you probably wouldn't want in your life. I think you made a right choice here. To be fair, before James had met me, he said he was open to giving them more sperm in the future. Situations change all the time. People change their minds all the time. His family situation has changed as he has married you. He took your feelings into account about, and they have not. They are also using his son as a bargaining chip. Are you comfortable with James donating to people who will use a child in that way? Not the a-hole. If this is how they act when they don't get their way, they shouldn't be having a second child. They lashed out at you, and now they've decided to hurt not only your husband and his family, but their son as well. They're not paying attention to what their son needs, and have chosen to use him as a pawn to get another child. It's vile. I'm not convinced they are worthy of the child they have. Imagine what that kid is taking away from this whole thing. And that's the end of the video, guys. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and also turn on your notification to get updated on the latest videos. I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe.